Hi guys, this is Enrique, and on this video I'm going to be reviewing my 55-inch Samsung Odyssey Arc Gen2. I've had this monitor right behind me for 6 weeks now, and my primary use for it is actually work. Recently I've been kind of getting into sim racing, and I thought this would be kind of like the best of both worlds for a monitor that can give me some productivity and also provide me with the gaming features that I didn't have in my previous setup. My previous setup was two 32-inch monitors, and what bothered me about it was that I had a huge bezel right in the middle of my face. So I didn't really like that, and I also knew that if I ever upgraded my computer, which I actually did, I wouldn't be able to run any games in those older monitors. And I had that set up for a while. It worked out really well. I never had any issues for work. What I'm gonna do in this video, after 6 weeks of usage, mainly for productivity and a little bit of gaming, I'm gonna tell you the things I like and don't like about this monitor. Hopefully by the end of this video, if you are considering it, this will give you some extra info that you needed or you were looking for to see if this monitor is worth it for you at all. One thing I can tell you though, when this monitor came out, it was $3,500. At $3,500, I can pretty much already tell you it is not worth it. At the current price of $1,799, we can definitely now discuss it. I believe that's a competitive pricing. Let's start with my favorite features about this monitor. I love this remote. For example, when you press this button, you get this hub, and this hub allows you to split your screen up to 4 screens. Right now, I think I have it split in 2, and I'll show you that. If I go in here, you'll see that it will give you options for apps that you can choose from. And then it also remembers your last setting here. For me, it's only 2 computers. That would be my work computer and my personal computer. And as you can see, they're both here. This is my personal computer here, but I have these MX keys. If I decide to press number 1, I can now be on the other screen, as you guys can see here. So I do like the possibility of going in between the 2 computers very easily, or actually simultaneously. I think this is a killer feature. I could add an app and divide the screen in 4. I don't really do that much. I love the idea of being able to edit a video on my personal computer while I'm also doing some work. Another thing I like is that 1000R, which refers to the amount of curvature that the monitor has. On my previous setup though, when I had 32-inch monitors, that used to be at least 10 inches wider. And I found myself really just kind of having to even move my chair from one side to another to work on the different monitors. Whereas with this, I can be planted right in the center, and it's very comfortable because of the curve. I'm definitely doing a lot less traveling with my eyes, my head, and even my actual body. So I think it's really cool that you get 2 remotes. You get the cool remote I already showed you, and then you get this regular Samsung TV remote that if you have ever used any Samsung TV for the last 6 to 7 years, then this is the operating system that is loved by many, also hated by many. I don't have any issues because all of my TVs are Samsung, so I'm very, very familiar with this, and I actually like it. This remote has some redundancy with this one in the way that you can also change your inputs here as opposed to this. This is quicker for some of those changes. But you can get to most of the same items with this remote. I think this remote has the cool factor, and I think that's really what they were going for. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that this could have all been managed in 1 remote, but the fact that you get 2 is just a cool thing. One thing I hated about this monitor from day one was the stand that it comes with. It's about 50 pounds, and it was just making my desk bow down the middle. I was able to find an arm on Amazon that it's really good for the price. This was like $130, and I'll put that in the description. One of the things that you may be missing out on though is the ability to rotate it, which is not important to me. I think that at 55 inches, this was already really close to the ceiling when I had it in that mode, in portrait mode, and I didn't really care for it. I don't have a use for it besides the fact that it looks cool. I do like how it frees up a lot of space on my desk, because before that, I had this huge plate sitting right here. All right, let's talk about productivity for a second, because this is one of my concerns when I got into this monitor. When I started researching this monitor, I was worried that it would be too large and that the pixel density would not be right. And I have to say, I mean, so far, so good. I'm gonna show you my display settings here. I mean, if you look at these settings, I have the scale at 100, and I don't have any problems with the icons. I mean, the icons are good for me. I've gone as high as 125, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's not bad either. It's just I feel like at that point you start kind of wasting real estate. The icons do look better at 125, I do have to say that, but I really don't even think I need that. I really feel like the screen is more functional for me at 100% scale, because that truly feels like 4K to me, where I have a lot of room to divide this screen in 4 manually. Another concern I had was mounting my webcam so high and just be able to see the top of my head when I'm having meetings. So I haven't really figured this one out yet. I'm still in that testing phase, but let me show you what this camera looks like on top of this. So that's how it looks. And honestly, like, I wouldn't say this is ideal, but it's not terrible. I actually thought it would be a lot worse. And if I look up, then it's not bad at all. But yeah, yes, it is still angled towards the top of my bald head, but if I just move a little backwards, I still have access to my keyboard right here. I'm holding it. And it works. Actually, it's not bad at all. That's another thing that is really working really good for me. Another thing I like is how you can just select this option in the menu and shrink the screen. This is very helpful for first-person shooting games where a large screen might be detrimental. I have a little bit of cable management going on here. I'll show you. I have a racetrack underneath. It's a little messy, not perfect, but it gets the job done for me. And then down there, I use double-sided tape for the One Connect box that this monitor comes with. And I like it. I like it there. I don't want to see it. It's big and heavy, and I didn't want it on my desk. Now here, I do have a Dell, one of those Dell hops. Here is my personal computer, my M18R2 Alienware, and then my Dell for work. Let me play some copyright-free music, see what you guys think. I have the settings up. Let's set it up at 60. Now let's talk about some of the things I don't love about this monitor. I don't love the size. 55 inches is cool. It definitely has that wow cool factor, but in practicality or in real life, I would say maybe a 45 inch would be ideal. Another thing I don't love is the stand that it comes with is super heavy, unnecessarily heavy, or maybe necessarily heavy because the monitor is so big. Either way, I don't like it. I don't think a 60-pound or 50-pound stand makes sense. Now that I got the monitor in the arm, I solved that myself. So, but I had to spend extra money, right, to get it right. So I don't love that about it either. I don't love that it's not an OLED. I don't know if they make OLEDs with 1000R curvature. I have not seen one. Maybe that's why. Let me think what else. I don't like the price. Definitely don't love the price. I think it's very overpriced. I think this monitor makes sense if you can find it on sale. It's definitely worth it. It's if you game or you're trying to get a monitor that is also a TV, then this is great for that also. The One Connect box is a love or hate. It's really big and heavy. So it's something that you have to account for. It's good for cable management, but the box itself is really large. So you have to decide where that's gonna go. I had it on top of my desk for a few days, and I just didn't really care for that big brick sitting on my desk. If having stuff on your desk bothers you, then you gotta think about that One Connect box. Now, this is one of the items I'm kind of turned about, is that having 2 remotes. One remote is cool, 2 remotes is very cool, but also kind of cumbersome. So, you know, I'm torn on that one because I kind of like what the one remote can do, but it's still one control too many from what I'm used to. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this monitor. Again, I was blown away by the cool factor myself. And so I considered the 57-inch Samsung Odyssey. Then I considered the 49-inch OLED Odyssey. So I went through a lot of different monitors. The one thing I didn't like about those is that those are very narrow. They're just very short. I was a little turned off by how narrow those 1440 displays are. And so after that, I also considered the LG, that 45-inch LG. And that's an OLED. I was a little concerned about screen burn. And so I knew that because I use this for work, sometimes I'm in front of the screen for 8 hours straight. I knew I needed something that is burn resistant. So as much as I would like to have an OLED, this actually made a lot of sense for my use case. All right, guys, that's it for me today. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.